Hey there, you guys. We're here for the next episode of Hanako, Season 2. So this is episode 22, I believe. Tsukasa and Amane. Either or. Doesn't matter which side we go. It's going to hopefully give us more insight on the twins, and then maybe some answers to questions I had last episode, or it will just leave me with ultimately a lot more questions. But I'm excited either way, so I don't really want to delay this any further. So let's get started with this episode in the count of 3, 2, 1, now. Now. When you slip and don't actually hit start. Once close brothers, human sacrifices in the Cursed Red House. Yep. And then we ended up making it back. Yeah, I would say height is about that of a 4-year-old, maybe. Okay, so it's actually a lot more interesting. I'm laughing, but little Tsukasa here's a fixation on asking about if you brave of you. Yeah. I was gonna say, so he's asking, like, as a genuine thing, like, that's what motivated him to work with the house that was luring him in to begin with. So while it's, like, this funny moment, it's also, no, he's being genuine. His mind's thinking of, you know, how much he cares about his brother. The first wish I got granted. I knew the opening was gonna come, but it struck right when I was... But yeah, so we're gonna get to hear stuff from his POV. The innocence of, you know, a child back then kind of getting abused by this apparition or whatever type of entity was actually chilling in the house. Are we gonna actually... I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna let the episode throw stuff at me, and I'm gonna take it all in. Also, show you can't stop at 24. I'm just saying. How dare? If that's what's gonna end up happening. Oh, it's 2 bears because... Oh, okay. Just snatched the little thing. Oh, I'm so on edge. I don't like this. Oh, it's because it is his. And it tossed it back to him. Huh. It took the lizard! Like a god. Oh, he literally fell into it because of the... Oh. Literally started just sacrificing little creatures. Literally maybe gaining speech from every interaction here. Hmm. Even catching snakes for... Aw, not the little chick. Not the cat! Oh, you innocent fucking bean. Hmm. And having to... Oh... Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And this is... Oh, this is where he... Yeah. Oh, and you don't even know, too, because we don't know what ultimately led up to the supposed murder-suicide. And we know that he didn't... Yeah. They're all so happy, but they... He hates me, so I'll be... No! Oh, yeah, this is going personal again. And it hurts so much. Yeah, it's... Oh, no. Oh, were you... Oh... Oh... How? He does, yes. Yeah, is the Tsukasa we know truly Tsukasa? Mm-hmm. Or... Because we do know the mom thought something was up. Mm-hmm. But we don't know all of the effects that, if that was possible, we don't know. Yeah, there's so many things that could go wrong doing that. But you guys are here because you weren't able to bring him out. And is he willing to leave? Oh, no. I know where little kid Tsukasa gets that idea from, yeah. Yeah. And if both of you are in good spirits, yeah, you'll have more time. It was just unfortunate, given how sick he was, that a lot of resentment was forming. And so that's what you would see. Oh. Yeah, no, this place is not gonna be happy. Yeah, guys, quick, quick! Come on, Ko. Hey, as long as you both come out okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, you think that? You really think that? It's never that simple. Never. We're literally tearing him away from things he knew, too, though. This, I don't know. How about we'll go to a summer festival? Yeah, she saw this. I want to go to it with Amane. Oh. Does that prove, though, because, yeah, the little kid Tsukasa here doesn't have memories of that festival. If that festival is a memory of something that happened, then technically he would have gone with Amane. Ooh. Oh, no, Yashiro. Oh, ow. Yep, not unscathed, and now they're really going through the efforts. Why is it holding on to the Tsukasa so hard, though? What? Light the place on fire? Oh, thinking quick. Oh no, you're so smart. Thank you, little Tsukasa. We do still have a bit of an injury on our hands, but okay. Is that actually the front door? Huh. But will it just pull us back in again? I don't know. I'm so not confident. It's been 18 minutes. Write a letter. Wait. No! God, that game... That was the same feel as fucking Ao-chan going away. And the house is so decrepit! Did that change anything? No! I know how to go home. I just didn't go because I thought I shouldn't. Stop not doing anything too. Uh-huh. Well, we don't know the circumstances. Well, I mean, you literally vanished, so... Wait, so you have to burn too? You're falling through? Oh, no. a fucking warped sense of... What? I'm sorry, what? Also, does that mean it was us? Us in the future possibly fucked shit up? Or, oh my god, there's so many time-space continuum shit that could be going on. Yeah, and the place is burned down. Yeah. Is that... No. Hmm. An old well. Wait, is that where he was going down? Where in the house would that have been? Oh yeah, you're hurt. Be careful. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Its own timeline. So yeah, it's possible, you'd think, maybe. Hmm. Yeah, we actually have some concrete info on it. Yep. Yeah, I was wondering why that would be the tie. Still connected to the other side, which is where she would be. That would be the hope. Yeah. You two have gone through a bunch. You need to cool down. Like, oh, yeah, when did you guys eat? That isn't, yeah, okay. Good job. You saved the day. No Teru food poisoning. Oh. He burned the house down, but it's... I can't say that after what Tsukasa just did. Okay, we still have what we got from the shrine the last episode, too. Just say what you want. Don't electrocute the poor boy. One-way train to the far shore. Damn. It was lovely having the next episode one day later, but now I'm stuck with a week. I'm starting to think I know where they want to end this season. And if they do that, I want to see it, but also don't end the season. They have to at some point, you know, they need time to really plan out and all that fun stuff. But at the same time, I don't want it to end, okay? We were spoiled. Okay, we were spoiled after waiting 5 years. We got this two core season. Like, amazing. But yeah, it's definitely coming to a close soon, and I don't like that. But let's talk about this very emotionally conflicting episode. Because, oh gosh, Are my emotions here, there, everywhere? To say the least. I'm very interested in that, having that music going on, and like, I know that's where they had the credits going, kind of like a fill-in for the ending, but just having that flame sitting there burning, right? As Tsukasa falls down into the fiery pit there. It's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Because, yeah. Again, just a house that tries to grant wishes to it. Now we know that it started even before Amane was so close to, you know, passing. It seems like one day baby Tsukasa just stumbled across it and was fascinated, as I imagine a 4-year-old would be. Especially because, you know, initially it seems to have just did what he wanted. It granted a wish, right? It didn't do anything like scary. He actually got something he wanted. And so it would draw him back into it. Yeah, just all of Ko going through the house trying to sell him everything he's wished for, just back to back to back, no stop, no breathing room. That just being brought back in here to also point towards the end, where just knowing that little Tsukasa, I like felt that Amane actually hated him. That sucks. Because it's just, I can get where that came from. We get to see it happen in real time. While we see these moments where, you know, he didn't seem like, they seem to get along well. Clearly, there was a time where they were really close, but, you know, as he got sicker and sicker, he got to do less. He was stuck in bed all the time. He just literally was stuck. And so having his brother just constantly running around, getting to do all of these things, yes, he's fulfilling these tiny little wishes of a book or like these toys, but he's not really able to do much with that, right? And so little kid Amane is going to get a little jealous, resentful. Like, why is it that I am constantly sick? Why is it only happens to me? You're always in good health. I get to see you go here and there everywhere all the time, and I'm just here. Like, that's not fair. And, you know, obviously it's not Tsukasa's fault in any way, shape, or form. But he's just a 4-year-old. He's a little kid. He doesn't have a real means to get it out. And, you know, at the time, he's so busy feeling awful that it's only going to bubble up when the source of his, like, resentment or anger just gets thrown at him, which happens to be anytime, you know, Tsukasa with his boundless child energy just comes in. And it's awful, right? Because it's clear he didn't mean that. For his birthday, when, you know, the wish finally got through and Amane's now not sick anymore, he can do all of these things, and Tsukasa's going to fill his end and go away, be taken to this weird domain of sorts, right? One of the first things Amane does with that is goes through the house going, "Hey, Tsukasa," because he wants to play with Tsukasa. He wants to hang out with Tsukasa. He literally said, "Yes, I love you. I love you." Because it is. You know... Oh, man... Because this whole part here, with the context of what, like, was his driving force and motivator. Okay. I wanna be serious when we're going onto the serious topics, but also I just want to say, damn, Yashiro, good job, man. You're out here finally, not completely, you know, you're going a little insane with your eyes there, but, you know, fine. I like him kind of a lot. So you won't say you love him, but you like him a lot. all of us, it only took a long, long time, but finally, a confession of sorts to a 4-year-old Tsukasa. But this, then we match, just showing off that he really cares about his brother, right? I'm so... tell you all about him. Well, through him talking about Amane, you'll learn more about him, so, it's a good little segue to learning more about Tsukasa. But I wonder if that sense of love got really warped. Like, I imagine it did. I'm just saying in a questioning tone because there's just so much going on behind all of this that I don't know. Like I said at the beginning of this, apparently we're going to get left with a lot more questions. Because again, if this place is kind of like its own timeline, where would that place us in it? Like, I'm so curious about that. And then the effects of having Ko tell young Tsukasa, yes, so your brother is going to kill you, and then he's going to die as well. Right? He's going to die immediately after killing you. He's gonna only make it to 13. So what? He's 4, right? So technically, if we go off that timeline, it seems like Amane, given how ill he was, he possibly might not have made it to 4. He would have only been 3. So, whereas Tsukasa wanted him to have, like, this long, fulfilled, happy life, where he got to reach the stars and all of that, he didn't even get to adulthood. So Tsukasa, for his wish to give his brother a long, fulfilling life, he gave him an extra 10 years. Just about. Almost, right? Well, I'll give 10. Okay, we're gonna round it off to 10. Because counting when he was 3. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna say 10, just to be nice. But his reaction to that news is what makes me wonder how he interprets these actions and how they resonate with this idea of love or affection, maybe even. Like the excited joy in having Amane kill him and finding out what way he would do it. And then pointing out how foolish, like how crazy he is for, like, it's like, I did so much for you to have your wish fulfilled, and then you went and cut it short yourself? Like, yeah, man, why would you do that? It's so silly. Because that does sound like the Tsukasa we know. At least back in season 1, when we were first really getting to know him, and during the Mitsuba episode, when, Hanako corners him after what he did to Mitsuba. And he talks about it very much. It's like a reminding of how he was killed, and which is what showed us a flash of it again. Along with when we first meet Tsukasa with Yashiro in the donut episode, it's another like flash to him just being on top knife and all of this. But we don't know the full context. And this episode is just making me think a lot. And, yeah. Because then, yes, in this realm, which seems to be pertaining to trying to make little Tsukasa happy with this, because, he got his wish granted for the sacrifice of him being here. So, now he has all of these things, probably keep him entertained. But what he shows us straight up is just, so the room that they slept in, but then also, it's just a box of what I'm assuming is literally all the things that he had given to him for his brother, right? These are all little things that maybe Amane mentioned in passing. Except for the ball. The ball seemed to have been Amane's to begin with, based off how he called it that when it rolled under the house. But, clearly his biggest points are towards his brother. And it didn't have speech at first. So through the interactions, through the maybe little sacrifices of these little creatures here and there, which, again, little Tsukasa has his, sweet moments, but then I'm not going to get past the fact that he started sacrificing all of those creatures. A lot of them were past the line. And then he also brought back a cat. So yeah, we're going to jump over that note that I know it, and I'm feeling ways about it. And I'm not really going to give the fact that he's a innocent, three at this point, year old. Because birthday's after he's cured. So since he's not cured here, he's 3 at oldest. So, not giving him a pass, but we're just going to jump over it for now. But yeah, see, you could tell here, Amane didn't hate his brother. He played along. He even mentioned when he was sick that very first time. When the joy in talking about dreams. He points out, he says things, and then he points out that you're not good at reading, so I'll read it to you. Right? Those aren't something, that's not really something you're gonna do for someone you don't really like spending time with or being around, right? Because why? Why would you? I think even kid logic, a lot of the times when a kid really just doesn't get along with another one, they will go off and do their own thing, and you'll see that they're very obviously trying to exclude or get away from the other kid. So, yeah, it's nothing about this screams that. It's just for a young kid to have, your closest sibling or just, anyone important to you suddenly have, a lot of outbursts and, him suddenly being really badly ill, not having energy to really keep up with Tsukasa anymore. He might unintentionally be viewing that as, distancing as well, not wanting to communicate. But in reality, it's just he can't keep up with everything going on right now. Yeah, look at all that stuff. It's everything in the box. And then the mom, though. Being a parent in this situation is probably awful. In general, the high probability of losing your kid is a nightmare. But then the high possibility of losing your kid and then having to try to stay strong or not alarm your other kid. No. She did good. As good as she could. Given that, she was barely processing it herself. We need to note that, later on, too, she's the one who's going to notice a difference in Tsukasa after he returns from being gone and missing for 6 months. So, it is really interesting to point out. It's is that the Tsukasa we know, or is it not? I don't think we can truly change. Or can we? I mean, Yashiro does have the key that Amane had at school that one day. So, there is possibilities, right? You think to interfere with and mess stuff up. But if so, how is that going to affect it? Has it already affected it and we're on this timeline where all of this happened? Time-space continuum shit and all of that is very complex and can go many different ways. So, I don't know. Yeah, so he can't play with you for a while. And then it's when he feels better, and just knowing that he's possibly not going to get better. Because, yeah. And then here, the big blow up. This is after his really bad spike. This is after the news that he's probably only got a little bit longer. And so, he's rightfully just exhausted, done. No energy. He's probably really down in every sense of the word. And his brother comes in as energetic as normal. and leads to an unfortunate outburst that clearly is going to affect how he views a lot of things. Yeah. I'm sick of not doing anything to you now. That line, it's not really in context with this episode, that it's making me think of, though, you know, it does really go into something that he's going to cling on to. But that notion of not doing anything anymore, and tied to now that Hanako, you know, he's passed away, he can't actually reach out to do the things he couldn't achieve in life, so he's kind of just stuck there. Yeah, just the shitty situations all around in all, yeah. Because we don't know, too. Wait. Yeah, so he has this outburst. And then, you know, maybe as he got older, he recalled little... Well, I say older, but we know that a Tsukasa, whether it's Tsukasa or something with his form, comes back 6 months later. But during those 6 months, do you think Little just, like, finally is suddenly miraculously cured Amane? Is he wondering, it's like, where'd my brother go? Is his little mind trying to piece together all the times that his brother mentioned, oh, grants wishes, and then it's just like, is he gone because I'm better? Like, how much, in that span of 6 months, how much damage do you think could have been put on this kid who, like, now that he's healthy, he probably, the first thing he wanted to do was go and hang out with his brother again, and his brother's gone. And then his parents are stressed because, you know, they can't find him. And then suddenly he's back, and while it seems like Amane and the Tsukasa that returned seem to hang out normally and all of that, having the mom suddenly be like, for sure this can't be my son, something's possessing him or it's not him. And whatever ultimately led up to, you know, we know in school he seemed beat up a lot. And then obviously he ended up taking Tsukasa's life, and we can only assume he probably took his own too. So, yeah. And you see how pale he is compared to Tsukasa here. Yeah, there's a lot we still don't know because he doesn't talk about it. He can even grow up. And that's the sad fucking part, because he doesn't ultimately get to grow up. You know, yes, he makes it past his initial, what seemed like world and society's fate for him to die at, but he didn't actually get to achieve all those grandiose dreams that he talked about as a child. What changed for both of them? Really, what did it? For him, obviously, like, for Amane, a lot of stuff looked like it was going down, so definitely a lot there. But for Tsukasa, in his mind, I'm still stuck on his fixation on getting killed by Amane. It's just an unusual response. Like, yes, he's a little kid, but it's still a little, it's still jarring. Not even a little, it's still jarring. He'll fly a rocket ship. And he held on to the moon rock too. Sorry. Him excitedly talking about it, reading it, and just Tsukasa there looking in wonder. But yeah, a picture of like happy family. Yeah, that sense of Amane actually hates me, so, you know, me being gone won't do shit. He'll now be cured and get to do all of these cool things he talked about. Who cares if I'm there? He hated me. Yeah. Now, this is so true. I hate when things touch up a little bit too closely to my real life stuff, but Ko is just spitting facts, and the poor boy has been a fucking emotional punching bag this entire season. What used to be normal isn't anymore, and it never will be. People left behind, it hurts so bad, you got no idea. Ooh. Give reference. Just in case anything future on touches this topic. Parent loss. So, yeah. I'm not always gonna be super all here for things like this. But it's not the same. You know, even if you're not the closest, you still notice the absence. There's still going to be a difference in dynamic. And then, you know, you as the person who, like, in Tsukasa's situation, it's like he knew he was going to go away, right? And he's like, well, Amane hated me, so me disappearing isn't going to affect anything. He's still going to go and continue on with all of these things, right? But it's like, you don't know how all these other people view you, actually. And even if you've heard them say something, it may not be the whole truth. People say things all the time, but, you know, it vastly differs depending on the emotional moments that are going on at the time. Like, if people are upset, words are going to be a little bit more harsh, and things that you might not actually feel, but in the moment it just feels correct, that's what you're going to say. Like, you know, one of the last arguments was because at the time Amane was really sick, he was feeling awful, and he was just fed up. He couldn't do anything, and the prognosis was he's not going to be able to do anything ever again. He's literally just going to rot in bed. So, you know, a young kid's going to be like, most people, but especially a young kid too, is going to be like, fuck that. I'm so upset. Why is it that I'm like this? But then my brother, we're twins too. My brother, he's fine. Nothing, he doesn't get sick. Nothing ever happens. He's free to go and do everything he wants, but I'm here. I get told every day I need a rest. I'm trapped. You know, in the past where maybe he got to spend a little bit time with his brother, maybe not a lot, but, you know, still able to do stuff, it just got restricted, and then technically his brother's not even supposed to bug him anymore. So, but no, people will feel the fucking absence. Whether you believe it or not, people will. Even if you think what you're doing will make someone happy, odds are it'll make others, and if not even the person you're trying to make happy, it'll make them sad. What used to be, hey, you know, you're just a little walk away, turns into, I can't. We can't talk anymore. Gosh. So no. It does matter. Back to the episode, because I'm 2 seconds away from bawling, and no one needs that in a YouTube video. He wasn't fine at all. Yeah. Because that's the detail. So he died, but then right there after that... I don't know how that would work. I'm sorry, my mind's really thinking about the whole gap in him being gone, because obviously he was brought into whatever realm this is, where all these little things go. But the person who returned 6 months later, could it have been him, but he was just, you know, he was already gone, so like almost apparition? But then we need to think about how he was able to manage, you know, aging up, right? And then, like, they would be able to, they would feel a pulse and all that, so that can't be it. So, I'm really stuck on who is the Tsukasa that we've been talking to this whole time. I don't think it's 100% a fake. So, I'm under the notion that something else is at play here that I'm just not smart enough to think of. And yeah. Yeah, because I don't know if he's completely a fake. Could he be in some parts? Yes. But I'm almost like, but could this kind of be like a Mitsuba-like situation? And like, maybe that's not like all Tsukasa, but in some essence it is. I'm making probably 0 sense, but you know, that's what throwing thoughts and theories out there is. It's just you spouting nonsense until something maybe possibly clicks. Because I'm thinking it is possible, just like how his mom spotted that something was off, that Hanako noticed it too, and then things were falling apart, and then maybe Tsukasa got more brazen at things. Maybe something happened with the parents even, because we know all four of the household perish. So maybe something even happened to the parents, and that led to Amane reacting by taking out Tsukasa. But then obviously that's not something you could do lightly, and he probably, through whatever he was feeling at the moment, took himself out. That's us assuming he did that to himself as well. It seems highly likely, but we don't know. Oh, that's the problem though now too. Like, let's say Ko's plan worked in this sense, and we were able to send this little 4-year-old Tsukasa back home, and it would actually be back then, so like the time shift and all of that. But with how he clung to the detail of Amane kills me, and then we see the last bit of him even saying, I wonder how, with like this smile and like interesting look to him, just sending him back with that knowledge, would it just result in the same situation? Maybe even happening in a different way? Because it's no longer a case of us just sending this kid back with no future events in his mind. It's us sending a kid back who now knows some vital info on the future and the results of what a wish being granted led to. So I don't know. It's a big if on his plan working or not. And we truly won't know what the result was unless we're living in the result right now. I recently read something that had a funny time thing happening. And it low-key makes me think of this. But I don't know, like, you can go so many different directions with time, you know, that it can go anyway. Yeah. Sending someone from the past home, time paradox in the present. Just, maybe Teru will do it. Yeah, when in doubt, Minamoto Teru. He's going through his own thing right now, but maybe, just maybe, I know he'll be happy to have you back. Sure, he might. Okay, yeah. Yeah, look at all the fun times you had, right? I want to see Amane again. And then that's when the house turns evil and tries to kill them all. Again, I'm wondering if it's, like, strictly tied, that entity's strictly tied to him. Maybe because he was the one who gave it so many offerings and it became stronger and able to do more and more things because of that. Like, what seemed to be like a lowly little figure down below that simply initially granted the wish of throwing a little ball back for a lizard, now was able to cure a little child of a what seemed like deathly illness for the exchange of another child. You know, I wonder if from Tsukasa being the start of it all, it clung to him extra and kind of used him, just based off how it was depicted on being on his chest even, right? When they brought up the summer festival, and then he said, I want to go with Amane. Really bringing into question, like, because we do have that possible memory back then. And, you know, we did know that the Amane from back then said he wished to meet Yashiro again. Whereas previously it would have been wanting to go up to the stars and all of that. But also good Yashiro here. She was really clutch save. Unfortunately, she got hurt. And it was very tense, I will admit. But we had very smart and quick thinking Tsukasa here, noticing that flames of destruction were gonna save them. So. But also I wonder, it's flames of destruction to save him because it was like backing away. But could it just have been because he's literally like lighting the house on fire? Like physically doing it, and so it's weakened from having its domain be lit ablaze. Because yeah, then we found that front of the house. And the way he's talking to. Again, it's like an Aoi situation where it's like they know they're not actually going to go out, but they're trying to keep him talking and like all of that during it. Just because, you know? Yep. And the house is just decrepit. Like, even more than when we first stumbled across it. A complete change in what it looked like. So. And, yeah, just seeing, just didn't, because I thought I shouldn't. But this, what is this? I decided to stop not doing anything. And he ruins it all himself. So weird. That look, again, clearly something's up with this kid mentally. I mean, it was obvious, but I mean, this is such a really good showing of it. You know, Flames, that smile as he's talking of getting murdered. And being excited to find out how. Not even why. I can't wait to find out how he kills me. But yeah, then this, doing the credits with just the flame. Is that like him falling as fire? I don't know. I don't know. And then it's showing here, is this literally his return? So is that him actually returning? But, and then the mother was like, that's not all my son because of the entity that seemed to be merged with him. Maybe? But wouldn't that mean us sending him back is what led to that? So many questions. Oh, and he was happy! Sorry. Yeah, but would this well have been the location where he fell? It was the hole in the floor. And then it's true in this location with the sacrifices, would that have been like the place they were just thrown in? Where, because it's, yeah, just go with Co. A lot's gone on. It's a lot to take in. Emotionally and physically, so. He died long before our present. Yep. In a sense, that would have ties to Amane, too, because that would have been, for what we know, his in-life home. But that's the biggest part. Yeah, thanks to you two getting drawn in by some force, we can possibly find our end. Yeah. Okay. And another amazing episode. While I'm super excited for the next one, have they confirmed that, I mean, they usually confirm how long a season's going to be. Realistically, it's probably another 12, huh? But I know this season is probably getting closer and closer to its end. But, like, I do have a solid idea on where we're going to end it. And I'm excited for that scene. I'm sure people who, like, actually read the manga and, like, know the order of things better than me at 12 episodes, they're going to especially have the idea of where. But I'm assuming it's going to be a scene that's tied with one of the lyrics in the opening. So, excitement all around. I don't know. The situation between Tsukasa and Amane is just all around tragic and unfortunate. Just, like, it's cool that Amane technically got this brief period of time where he could grow up and not pass away due to the illness, but then also to know that because of this entity that, like, cured him, it also sent his, like, family down this line of clear destruction, given the future where all of them are dead, you know, before their time. It's a lot. And, yeah, no. I'm assuming the next episode, and especially the final episode of the season, are going to be a roller coaster and a half. But, you know, we're all going to be happy and ready to see it when it comes out, right? But, again, with that being said, there's not much more to ramble on. There probably is a lot more for me to ramble about, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this episode, any theories, what's the excitement hype levels for the next two. Will I learn to speak English next time? Who knows? But yeah, no, just so many fun little things. Anyways, I hope you have a great day or night, whatever the heck you're watching this, and I will see you all on the flip side. Bye-bye. Till next time.